When did you realize that, okay, now this is a business?
When I got traded, and it's just like, wow, like they didn't want me. That's the question you start to ask yourself. It's like, why didn't they want me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Schultz Report, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. I'm your host, NFL insider Jordan Schultz. Week 1 is officially in the books, and we have a lot to talk about. We'll have three-time All-Pro and reigning champ A.J. Brown joining us on the show today. We have breaking news, overreactions, underreactions, plus Keshawn's back. We have bad bets, bad takes by me, and more. Buckle up. Let's get into it. But first, football's unpredictable, but there's always a few guarantees. Some team will punt on 4th and inches to everyone's disappointment. Guaranteed. A ref will blow a pass interference call. Guaranteed. Here's another guarantee. Fanatics Sportsbook has the best offer this football season. Every single football game day until October with Fanatics Sportsbook. If your football bet loses, new customers get up to $100 back in fan cash and also can bet $10 to get $100 in fan cash. No one likes losing, but with Fanatics, you're still winning fan cash. Make the switch and download Fanatics Sportsbook, where every game day comes with a guarantee. Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Offer not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app. Okay, so we have some important pieces of business to get to. Ja'Marr Chase, the Bengals superstar wide receiver, is leaving Nike Apparel to join Fabletics, the apparel company Kevin Hart invested in. Now, this is the first time that Fabletics has signed an NFL star. So, as always, Ja'Marr Chase, the man they call 7-Eleven, the man who's always open, is a trend setter. You love to see it, a true pioneer. Also, speaking of star wide receivers, Detroit's young star, Jameson Williams, J-Mo, signed a 3-year extension according to multiple sources worth $83 million. Here's the big one, $67 million guaranteed. So some fans might ask why now. I'll tell you why. Jameson Williams comes off his best season. Last year was year 3. Obviously a former first-round pick. His first 1,000-yard campaign had 8 touchdowns. Detroit could have waited, but they wanted to reward Jameson now. This is also a big buy-in and belief into the maturity factor. I was at Lions camp earlier this summer for the day, and they felt, the whole staff did, the whole organization, like J-Mo was ready to take a significant step forward. He came in the best shape of his life. He had put on some weight. He got stronger. So this is a buy-in, all in on Jameson Williams, the player and the person. So now let's get into what everyone's talking about, NFL Week 1. So how important is Week 1? Not that important. Yes, I'm telling you right now, if your team got blown out, you're okay. If your team looked great, don't book those Super Bowl tickets just yet. Number 1, defenses are far ahead of offenses. Most importantly, you have offensive coordinators who did not want to show a lot during the preseason. So they were running very basic schemes. In fact, I caught up with an OC, and he basically said what we ran in terms of the preseason was as basic as it gets. Goes all the way back to Pee Wee football. We didn't want to tip our hand. We didn't want to give our quarterbacks too much, especially the young guys. And what it comes down to is the fact that defenses, as a result, are going to look significantly better, not only week 1, but the first 3 or 4 weeks. In fact, that specific OC told me that he felt like the NFL season really begins right around week 4. Offenses by that point are clicking. You have much more gelled components. And I think as a result, you're going to see much cleaner, better football, and the defenses won't look quite as dominant. So as an OC, instead of running trick plays or anything really fun, you're running basic packages, basically meant to get you through the preseason unscathed. But none of that matters. We're in the moment. Week 1 is all about I told you so's, and I'm ready for some way too early I told you so's. The first I told you so, Detroit Lions rookie wide receiver Isaac Tesla. I'm going to start calling this guy Mr. Big Play because that's all he does. When we were at Lions camp, Terrion Arnold, the standout young corner for the Lions, said Tesla has all the tools. All he needs is a little more refinement. We're already seeing it, and he made an incredible catch. I know it's only week 1, but that catch against the Green Bay Packers, touchdown, back of the end zone, toe drag, everything in between was circus. It was Simone Biles beautiful. That is the catch of the season. Second rookie wide receiver, Emeka Egbuka, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He made not one but two huge touchdown catches, including the game winner against the Falcons. Really what I love about Egbuka is, yes, he can make all the plays, but it's the intelligence and the toughness. We said a couple weeks ago, actually last week, Brian Hartline, the Ohio State wide receiver coach who recruited Emeka Egbuka from my hometown, Seattle, Washington, said he is maybe the smartest football player I've ever coached. You combine all that with the physical tools. I just love this kid, and I think Baker Mayfield's going to lean on him a lot more as the season goes on. Third, Daniel Jones, the new Indianapolis Colts QB1. I don't know what to say other than I told you so. He was not good. He was great. Couple records. First off, first time in NFL history, or since 1977, that a team has scored on all 7 possessions. Number 2, DJ, 3 touchdowns combined. His touch was perfect, made all the right reads. I thought the connection with not only Tyler Warren, but Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, it was all on display. He torched Miami, so much so that Tyreek Hill had to give him props. Impressive by Daniel Jones. And lastly, J.J. McCarthy, Monday night, had a pretty poor first half. What does he do in the second half? Comes back with a vengeance, makes, I'd say, 3 or 4 sensational plays himself, had a great touchdown run on a keeper, had a great touchdown throw to Aaron Jones. He was absolutely awesome. I thought the throw to Justin Jefferson in a tight window really said it all. And I'm going to go back to a conversation I had with J.J. McCarthy before the draft 2 years ago. Remember, he has not played competitive football in 21 months, comes off not 1, but 2 knee surgeries. And McCarthy told me before the draft, it was the hockey background that really instilled in him those football team values. I think he really has something special. The fact that he was able to come back on Monday night in his hometown of Chicago, despite the bad first half, was just everything you need to know about the kid. So props to J.J. McCarthy and Daniel Jones, 2 quarterbacks who played terrific. So Isaac Tesla, Emeka Egbuka, Daniel Jones, J.J. McCarthy. I told you so. But now looking back at week 1, it's early, but maybe I was wrong about a couple of things. Number 1, the Lions. I don't know what happened in Green Bay because that was really impressive by the Packers defense. The Lions, without Ben Johnson, did not look like the same Lions we've seen the last couple years. Offensively, they were completely staggered. Were not able to move the football. Jared Goff looked like Jared Goff, rookie, second year in L.A. They never got Jahmyr Gibbs going. They never got the passing game going. It was just not a good performance on any level by Detroit. Number 2, Bo Nix. Now, I had him as a dark horse MVP candidate at plus 3,500. Not a good performance by Bo Nix. In fact, this was the Bo Nix we saw in many ways at Auburn and even a little bit at Oregon, where we thought as NFL fans, he's not going to be a good pro. Now, I didn't know what to think about him, but he had a great rookie year, and all my concerns were quelled. Bo Nix against the Titans, who are not exactly a juggernaut, looked like a rookie who didn't know where to go with the football. Made a lot of bad decisions, a lot of turnovers. Denver's offense had 4 as a whole, and I just didn't like what I saw from Sean Payton and company. Number 3, the Patriots. Not a great performance at all in Foxborough. Geno Smith comes in with Pete Carroll and company, and they took control of that game. They dictated tempo. Drake May, who I love, did not have his best performance, and I'm a little curious, maybe some bad juju with Bill Belichick. The Patriots first banning UNC gear, Jordan gear, Tar Heel gear, really, that beautiful baby blue. They're banning it in their locker rooms. Bill Belichick then says, I'm banning Patriot scouts at North Carolina practices. So, New England, get going before it's too late. All right, so let's get into some of the best games of week 1. First off, Colts, Dolphins. Now, if you're like me, you did not have high expectations for Miami this season. That was even worse than I possibly could have imagined. First of all, Mike McDaniel, I don't know what you're doing. You're not leading this football team. Your team was unprepared. That's not on the players. That's on the coaching staff. Completely unprepared on both sides of the ball. Pathetic. You got to do better. Chris Greer, the GM, I don't know what you're doing, but the offensive line that you put together is not good enough. It's just not. Tua Tagovailoa needs to be protected. He's actually really good when he is protected. When he's not, you see what happens. If I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, I'm just beside myself because Not only do you have what I believe is a bona fide quarterback in Tua, you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, really good young running back in Devon Achane, but you were completely unprepared. And I go back to that because on the other side of the ball, the Colts with Shane Steichen were completely prepared. We talked about Daniel Jones, how great he was. I thought the rookie Tyler Warren was terrific. Latu makes that great pick, their second-year pass rusher out of UCLA. They just have, to me, the Colts, they look like an NFL professional football team. They look like a team in week 6. The Dolphins look like a team in week 1 of the preseason. And if this is the Miami team we're going to see all year, it's going to be a very, very long year in South Beach. And I go so far as to say Mike McDaniel, apparently the offensive guru, nothing that I've seen, is undoubtedly the leader in the clubhouse after week 1 to be the first head coach fired this season. And now to perhaps the game of the year, Buffalo, Baltimore, a rematch of the divisional last year. This was unbelievable. Back and forth. And really, I thought Baltimore controlled it for most of the game. Not only Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, both those guys were awesome. Zay Flowers, really good young wide receiver. He was terrific. Baltimore looked for much of that game like the best team in football. And then suddenly the game was turned on its head when Derrick Henry, not only one of the best running backs in football, but the most sure-handed running back in football, fumbled less than 1% of his carries, has a fumble that I think he would tell you was shocking. It was shocking certainly to all the fans. I think even Bills fans were surprised. A lot of them left the stadium. You heard Josh Allen say after, have some more faith. Please don't leave. I just can't believe what I witnessed. And I watched it the second half again, and what I saw was a Buffalo team that has a lot of grit. And if the Bills are going to make their Super Bowl and win their first Super Bowl ever, they need that. They need that grit. Obviously, Josh Allen, the MVP, as good as anyone. But I really loved what I saw. They never, ever gave up. Baltimore is going to have a chance to be there as well. But defensively, I think both these teams, specifically in the secondaries, need to do a little bit of work. Nonetheless, awesome, awesome game. Most importantly in that game actually was not even the game itself. At least that was the storyline afterward. You had Lamar Jackson push a fan. Now, why? Because after DeAndre Hopkins made that great touchdown catch, one of the Bills fans hits him in the helmet. And then Lamar pushes that fan back into his seat. Here's what I have to say about that. Lamar did nothing wrong. The NFL fan or fans in general have nothing to do with the game itself. In other words, if you make contact with a player, you are going above and way beyond what you're allowed to do. So that fan gets banned, rightfully so. No punishment or discipline against Lamar, also rightfully so. And big ups to Lamar for a Herculean performance, but also for standing up for his teammate. Really appreciate that. And also really appreciate that moronic fan getting banned from the stadium. And now for another instant classic, Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Vikings, Bears. J.J. McCarthy, impressive. We talked about it earlier in the show. His first NFL start, actually his first competitive start in 21 months, coming off 2 knee surgeries. Obviously had to repair the meniscus. His second half, especially the fourth quarter, was downright awesome. And this is why he was a top 15 pick. This is why the Vikings bet on him and not Sam Darnold. Ultimately, it's the winning. This guy won at every level. He was a state champion in high school, lost 4 games throughout high school and college combined, obviously won a national championship at Michigan, and now against, I think, a pretty good Bears defense, comes back from 2 scores down and beats Chicago at Soldier Field. Just incredible, incredible comeback. Well done, J.J. McCarthy. On the other side of the ball, Ben Johnson making his debut as an NFL head coach, and Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson. So the first drive was awesome, 6 for 6, looked like an all-pro. Rest of the game, a little bit back and forth. I thought he made some really good throws. I don't think he really trusted a couple of the deep balls. The broadcast, Troy Aikman, who knows the quarterback position as well as anybody, I think he felt like there were a couple instances where Caleb could have let it loose on a couple corner routes, didn't do it. Nevertheless, I thought he was good. Not great, not bad. He was pretty good. Ends up with 210, a touchdown, another 58 on the ground. That's really the Caleb that we want to see, is that dual threat, kind of the swashbuckling, but not dropping back in the pocket and taking crazy sacks. I thought he was good. It's a lot to build on. I know he wanted the win, but nevertheless, I'm encouraged if I'm a Bears fan offensively from Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. But it's NFL Week 1, and everyone's either overreacting or underreacting. You are overreacting to the Ravens' collapse. Up 15 points on the road. I know. This is the Baltimore we kind of saw last year in the playoffs against Buffalo. couldn't win the big game. This is a great Ravens team. This is a Ravens team with arguably the best quarterback in football, an elite offense. Listen, defensively, I know they did not look great, especially down the stretch, but I still believe that the pass rush can get there, and I still believe that with Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey on the back end, the secondary will be there. John Harbaugh, a seasoned veteran coach, maybe made a couple mistakes. Book it right now. Baltimore will be there at the end. You're also overreacting to the performances of Bo Nix, Cam Ward, and Drake May. I'll start with Nix. He did not look comfortable all game. This looked like a rookie quarterback and not at all like the rookie we saw last year, where he had 29 touchdowns and led Denver to the playoffs. The issue I had was more with the game plan. They never got Bo in a rhythm, and even as a more seasoned quarterback himself, 25, 26 years old, you need to get him comfortable, get him easy throws. That's actually what Atlanta did early with Michael Penix, who had a good game. You need to make sure that you're getting Cortland Sutton involved early, you're getting Troy Franklin, and it's not just the deep throws, intermediate, it's the quick throws. Those quick completions are almost like making a free throw as a basketball player. Having played college basketball myself and as a shooter, I can tell you, seeing the ball go through the net makes a big difference, even as something as simple as a free throw. And as a quarterback, I've talked to a few that have told me the same thing. When you get 1, 2, 3 completions early on, that does a lot for your psyche, gets you in a rhythm. It's just something that you need oftentimes, especially early on in the season. I expect much more from Bo Nix and Sean Payton moving forward. Cam Ward, the rookie, don't overreact at all. Denver, I think, might just have the best defense in football. Obviously, Defensive Player of the Year and Patrick Surtain, all pros, Zach Allen, Nick Bonito in their pass rush. Just an awesome defense. Denver has a real home field at Mile High. Cam Ward, to me, is going to have a terrific career and a really good rookie year. His superpower, athleticism, accuracy, intelligence, all that will shine bright. Also, Calvin Ridley, who's a terrific receiver himself, had a few drops. It's just not something I would react to at all, especially week 1. And then Drake May, this is another one for me because I love Drake May. I think he has all the intangibles, the physicality, the arm strength. He's really set up, I think, to have a great year with Josh McDaniels. They've obviously upgraded the wide receiver position with Stephon Diggs. I just think that was a microcosm of what we saw a lot in week 1 in terms of bad quarterback play, bad offenses, defenses, as we said earlier in the show, much more ahead. And I think the Raiders have a legitimately good defense as well. One of the premier pass rushers in football, and Max Crosby, a good linebacker play, very well coached. Pete Carroll, we always know, years 1, 2, and 3, he's going to have you prepared. Maybe the message gets a little bit old after a while, but early on in his career, we've always seen it with Pete Carroll. At SC, especially with the Seahawks, those early years, he has his guys ready to go. And the Raiders with Geno Smith, the quarterback, showed that. Listen, everything's fine. Don't overreact. But I will tell you, you are underreacting to Russell Wilson. Absolutely pathetic performance by the Giants offense, specifically the quarterback. 17 of 37, 168 yards, 4.5 yards per attempt, no touchdowns, sacked twice, QBR south of 26. I don't know how you can be worse. And if you're the Giants, I don't know how you could have expected anything different. Number one, the offensive line is still not good enough. No Andrew Thomas is a big reason why. When he comes back, the all-pro left tackle, that'll be a huge lift for whoever's starting. But also, this has really been the theme with New York under this regime. Bad offensive line play, and as a result, not great quarterback play. Obviously, Daniel Jones has moved on. We saw what he did week 1 with the Colts. But Russell Wilson, I'm here to tell you, is no longer a starting quarterback in this league. This is not a shot at Russ. His career, unbelievable. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer headed to Canton. But at this point, he's no longer a bona fide starting quarterback. So on our show last week, Keshawn said he thought Jackson Dart, the rookie out of Ole Miss, first-round pick, would be starting by week 6. I'm going to beat that. I think week 4, that's the target before we start getting into all the buys. That's where you start Jackson Dart. Because if you're Brian Daboll, if you're Joe Shane, if you don't win this year, you're out anyway. So what do you have to lose? Jackson Dart is the future of this franchise. Big arm, big-time athleticism, obviously got that New York swagger. Get that kid in before it's too late and before the season gets out of hand. And while you're at it, rescue Malik Neighbors because my man certainly deserves a better quarterback. But enough of me. Let's bring in my man, Keshawn Johnson, to get his thoughts on week 1. Keshawn, welcome back to the show, my man. First off, how are we feeling after week 1?
Week 1 was exciting. It was really exciting, Jordan. I thought when you took a look, obviously you start off with that Kansas City game, and then you look at, the Philadelphia-Dallas game and some of the things that happened in that game. Dallas played really well without Michael Parsons. I thought they did a tremendous job, but then Jalen Hurts on the ground did what he was supposed to do. Then you fast forward to the Green Bay Packers and Michael Parsons and him getting that sack at the end there. So it was pretty fun to watch it. Buffalo's game obviously was, turn off the television, and then you look up and it's like, well, let me turn it back on real quick. And so you got a little bit of that. The Pittsburgh nail biter with the New York Jets was an interesting one. The Denver game with the Tennessee Titans was an interesting. So week one was a pretty exciting week as far as I can remember in a very long time.
What did you think about the Jets, actually? I'm curious. And Pittsburgh. Number one, what did you like from Fields? And number two, were you surprised at how well Aaron Rodgers played?
You know what's so funny? And you worked with me in the past, Jordan, and I've been screaming the praises of Aaron Rodgers as well as Fields for many, many years, even though people think that thought that Aaron Rodgers was done. He
Yeah.
was cooked because my good friend Aaron Glenn told him bye-bye. But that was based on a young new coach coming in and wanted to control his own team in his own locker room, going to Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin and the Rooney family and getting DK Metcalf and having Warner there at the running back spot does some special things for Aaron Rodgers with a nice defense. But you can see at the end of the year, he picked things up with the Jets, delivering the football in sync, in rhythm at times, late in games. So you can see the rust was starting to chip away. Now, when you look at Justin Fields played extremely well as far as I was concerned. I thought he played well. They may need to get another big-time wide receiver to free up Garrett Wilson a little bit more. Mason Taylor needs to get a little bit more of the action. I thought they did a tremendous job. I don't think people thought that the Jets were going to be in the game with the Pittsburgh Steelers to the end.
Yeah, one of the things that stood out to me was rookie wide receiver play. Specifically, Tedero McMillan and Emeka Egbuka, who was awesome. He had 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. I'll start with Tedero McMillan, top 10 pick out of Arizona. I know there were some comparisons to you coming out because of the size, the athleticism, can play all the positions. I'm not saying that he's Keshawn, but what is Tedero McMillan's game?
He could become a Keyshawn, so to speak. He's got to win a Super Bowl, get a couple Pro Bowls under his belt, get some 1,000-yard seasons, and be the leader in the
Write a
locker
book.
room.
You got to write a
especially on
book.
Well, he can write a book. Books sell. Books do sell. But if he just does all the little things, the interesting thing about where he's at in Carolina, I'm not in love with the quarterback room in Carolina. So he's at a little bit of a disadvantage right now, but he did put up 5 catches, 68 yards, whatever those empty statistics really mean in a loss. Now, when you start to think about it, he can grow from there. He just got to have the confidence to continue to keep doing all the different things. If he can play inside and outside, special downs in situational football when they need him the most, then he can certainly become one of those guys.
Is it hard to move around and play different positions, X, Y, Z?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think about it, Jordan. Think about trying to play all 5 positions in the NBA
Right.
or in college or whatever, all 5 positions. Just think about that for a minute. And this is what happens when you have to play the X, the Y, the Z, the zebra, depending on the situation. Every single team that I've ever played on, I played inside and outside. And that was an advantage to our offense because being a bigger guy with some quicks and a little bit of movement, it can get up the field, with the best of them. What happens is it becomes tricky, right? On third downs, you move me inside. What are they going to do? They're going to stay base defense. Are they going to bring the nickel and the dime? If they stay base defense, guess what's going to happen to their linebacker? We can run the football because I'm going to dominate him at the point of attack, or we can throw it because they're not going to cover me. Now, if you bring a nickel guy in or a dime
Too
guy,
small.
they're not the number one guy. And if you take the number one guy and follow me inside, he's not used to playing inside. So win Keyshawn Johnson advantage.
Ibuka, I thought, was great. We talked about the 2 touchdowns. His kind of specialty coming out of college was he could basically do anything. He was tough. He was smart. Maybe he didn't run the 4.3, but he ran well enough. He's not 6'4", but he's big enough. One of those guys that seems to just make plays.
Yeah, you don't have to be 6'4", 220 pounds and run sub 4'4". Everybody's not going to do that.
Those are unicorns, Keith. There's not that many.
It's not that many guys that can do those sort of things and still be able to produce at a high level. The great thing for him, he goes there with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Baker Mayfield at the quarterback spot, a veteran player now in his own right. So he gets 4 catches, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns, winning touchdown in his debut. That's what you're looking for. That's showing me that he's going to be a very viable NFL professional wide receiver. That's what it shows me about him. And I like it. I like it for him. He doesn't have to come in as the number one guy. He's a guy who's the third guy who fits in, who'll learn on the way. And then as Mike Evans and Chris Godwin get a little longer in the tooth and starts to exit, he becomes the number one guy.
One of the things that's always interesting to me early on in the season is how offenses aren't quite there yet. Is that, well, I guess, why is that? And number two, how long does it take for an offense, for a quarterback, receiver to get in sync?
Well, defensive guys see ball, hit ball, go get ball. That's all they know. They don't have to really understand the offense of the X and O standpoint, all the different verbiage and language and all the different splits and all the different things that you have to do on the offensive side of the ball. They simply could just line up and look for the pigskin. Wherever the pigskin goes, you go. That's the reason that the offenses tend to have a little slower timing at the beginning stages of things.
How long does it take, Key, for for a young wide receiver and a quarterback to get on the same page? Because it seems like Ibuka and Mayfield are already there, and then some of the other guys, even veterans, like we saw Nico Collins, AJ Brown. These are great players, not have great week one. So how long does it take?
Well, it's not about veteran players not having great week ones or younger guys getting on the same page, right? Once you're in training camp and you're there for a couple weeks, you kind of know, okay, here's where he likes the ball, here's where he likes to place the ball. You kind of know that going in. And then as the season goes on, you're practicing every single day. So you're going to get better. When you look at veteran players that have had down first week ones, it doesn't mean that they're not on the same page with the quarterback. It may just mean that the defense, it was their day, or they just didn't produce statistical numbers at the level that many people think that they should have based on fantasy football. So you're a
Yeah,
fantasy football
yeah.
guy, so you're looking at that shit.
So I was gonna say, unqualified minds like myself, I look at Nico Collins and I see, 4 catches, 37 yards, and I say the guy had a bad game. But that's not a good. I didn't play. I don't know what the hell it is. But you can tell me and say, he actually played well. He blocked here. He made a great play here, unselfish. Stats don't always tell the story, right, Key?
No, that is correct, Jordan. Stats don't always tell the story at all. You got to think about the defense that the Houston Texans played against. How stressed was CJ Stroud?
Very
How
stressed.
how harassed was he during the course of the game where he couldn't get the football to his 1, 2, 3, third read? He couldn't do it, right? So he can't go from 1 to 2 to 3. Nico Collins is not always the first read in the progression at the court at the progression with the quarterback. He's just not always that first read.
Key, I'm sure you caught this Buffalo, Baltimore. It was one of the. Forget the game for a second. But did you see Lamar Jackson and the fan?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, what happened was the fan hits D Hop in the helmet, and then Lamar sees that and reacts. I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I didn't think Lamar did anything wrong.
Well, here's what I would say. Depending on the strike of the helmet, is it a pat on the helmet
Right.
or is it a forceful, violent act? And then if he looked at it as a forceful, violent act toward his teammate, he should go in the stands and snatch his ass out. Period. Now, that's just me. That's my attitude. That's don't here's my pet peeve and here's the numbers. Number one, don't touch me,
Yes.
as I've always said. Number two, don't touch my teammate. Number three, don't throw any fucking objects at us. Okay? Don't do it. Be there, enjoy the environment, enjoy the game, and celebrate. But don't touch me. If you touch me, I have the right. to kick your ass. Period. It's the bottom line. You're just because you pay to watch a game does not give you the right to do some of the things that fans do. Now, look, here's Buffalo. I played there. I played there. I've gotten frozen batteries thrown at me. We had to wear our helmets on the sideline because they're throwing frozen batteries. So I get it. I understand. Certain fans may get a little cocktails in them. You know, I'm sure you were a cocktail guy once upon a time and harassing NBA players sitting courtside. I'm sure.
And on the front row, I'd throw soda at Patrick Ewing or Ray Allen. Yeah, of course.
But no, seriously, these are the type of things that fans have got to understand. Don't touch the players.
Yeah.
Say hi. If you want to pat me on the shoulders as I walk by, give me a high five. That's cool. One time here, I'll tell you a story before we move on. Carolina Panthers. I play for the Carolina Panthers. We go back against and play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You're going back to Tampa?
My first time ever back to Tampa as a Carolina Panther. Jordan, I'm walking through the tunnel after ripping them. I don't know what I had, 100 and something yards. I think it was like 120 something on like 5 catches, 2
You know exactly
touchdowns.
what you had.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't
Okay,
know.
fine.
I know it was over 100. But anyway, I dominated the game in the Buccaneers. I'm walking through the tunnel, and they throw beer on me.
Wow.
So you know what I did? I retraced to go back up in the stands. It took probably 6 or 7 police and security to yank me down from going up into the stands because you have no right to throw beer on me.
I totally agree. I'm happy they got you before something really bad happened. And this turned into
yeah.
Malice in the
No,
Palace.
their day got ruined by one of their former players. And so those pancakes weren't going to go down too well in the household the next day.
Maybe it was John Gruden throwing it on you.
No, Green didn't throw it on me. No, it wasn't Green.
Key, can you win a Super Bowl without great wide receiver play?
Without great wide receiver play?
So let's look at, last year at Philadelphia, great wide receiver play. Kansas City, good wide receiver play. I guess do you really need, if you have average receivers, above average, can you win a chip?
If you have above average receivers, you're probably not going to the Super Bowl. I don't know a team that has gone to a Super Bowl with above average receivers and won. Because Travis Kelce is the receiver in Kansas City.
Sure.
He's the guy. I understand WR, flex left, Rasheed Rice, I get it. But Travis Kelce's the guy. You look at AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Those were the guys. Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice. Those are the guys. When you talk about winning a Super Bowl from an offensive output, I mean, I could go on and on and on. Hell, myself, we won the Super Bowl. I caught the ball, I delivered, I did my job. That you can't. Teams don't make it to the Super Bowl without elite receivers on their roster. Just doesn't happen.
Key, can I ask you one more question before I let you go? I lied.
You just said you.
I know,
just
but
said
it reminded me. Why is it that every time I've seen you shoot a basketball, it looks like you're shooting a big giant brick? What was lost?
That's not true.
What was lost
That's
in
not true.
translation for you as this all-world athlete to not even be an adequate, halfway decent basketball player?
Are you out of your damn
I
mind?
watched you and Paul.
I can play basketball. You're watching me against a top 75 all NBA, All-Star, Hall of Fame, gold jacket, red jacket, whatever color it is. You're gauging me against that.
I know.
Doesn't work like that. Doesn't. Nice try, but it doesn't work that way.
For those who haven't seen it, Keshawn and Paul Pierce went back to, was it Paul's high school, I think it was, or yours?
It was my high school, yeah.
Your
Dorsey
high school, and they shot a lot of threes. And let's just say Keshawn was essentially, I think he might have been 0 for
That was you.
0 for 50.
Was you.
You looked like Greg Ostertag shooting threes.
Greg Ostertag, I know, right? Yeah. First of all, I was in street clothes.
That's true. That doesn't
We
help.
just walked into a gym, hadn't really even
No
started
warm-up.
to shoot. We just launching them. And to be honest with you, that thing's far, man. That three-point line.
NBA three-point line's crazy
really,
far.
really far. It's like, damn, that's far. I don't ever remember it being that far, but It was a long ways.
When I come back to LA or you come to New York, we'll go to a gym, we'll film it, we'll play horse, we'll do whatever you want. I'll give you 3, 4 letters.
Jordan, you have no idea what you're up against, man. It's one thing I'm always tell you is the truth. Don't let the BS fool you.
Okay.
I'm just being honest with you. You ever say, "Oh, golf, he can't swing." You see my swing. I don't even play golf. Imagine if I played what that would look like.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't play baseball anymore. But if I got in the batting cage at the age that I'm at right now, I can hit 75. I can't hit 90, but I can hit 75. And so you just got to be careful when
Yeah.
you messing around trying to talk that mess. Your pockets will be rabbit ears messing with me.
Listen, I can't wait for that. I want to say fight on. Congrats to 2-0.
Jordan, we're not a top 25 team. No one cares. We played Purdue this weekend. Who cares?
Well, I care about you. I appreciate you coming on the show, and I'll see you next week.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother. See you, Key. And now let's bring in 3-time All-Pro and reigning Super Bowl champ from the Philadelphia Eagles, wide receiver and man of the people, A.J. Brown. A.J., such a pleasure to have you on the show, man. All-Pro wide receiver and man of the people. I want to talk about your workouts this past year at the most dangerous gym in the world. Why was it important for you to do that? How did that impact your mindset heading into the Super Bowl defense?
So honestly, I was bored. Honestly, that's where the idea came up, and I was watching on social media on TikTok, and I saw Hottie, which is one of the guys that's in the gym, and I was like, man, I want to work out there one day, and just to really challenge myself, I like to say I know I'm a little thrown off a little bit. I like to be challenged really hard to see how far I can really go, and I went for it. And man, it was really tough. It was really tough, and it was really like a mental battle. Like the reps wasn't always all the way clean, but it didn't matter. You just want to see effort and see how far you can go and pushing past failure. And once you get to failure, then that's when the real work begins. So, I haven't been challenged like that in a long time. I try to make my workouts really tough, but it's different when you're being challenged from someone else and you're in someone else's environment, and it's tough, and you just have to learn how to adapt and keep going. So yeah, it definitely prepared me for the season. As you can see, I have one catch for in this past game, and like I said, it only can get better. So
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But
yeah, for sure, for
actually, you know what?
sure.
Let me jump right into that because you had one catch, but I still thought you had a good game. They just game planned to completely take you out of the game.
Yeah.
You blocked your ass off. You were involved. You didn't. It looked to me like your body language was awesome. You didn't have
Right.
any issues. So how does that impact you when statistically you're not doing a lot, but you still feel like you're in the game?
I know I'm in the game because, the coverage is getting rotated to me every single play, and even if it's underneath a catch to Dallas Goddard or Johan getting his one-on-one opportunity, he making the big grab on the post, that's how I know I'm still in this game and in this game, and I'm still affecting this game. So regardless of if I was touching the ball or not, I'm still making an impact on the game. But as a receiver, it is tough because you want to touch the ball, you want to feel like you're contributing, and so. But yeah, that was tough. But I try to do a really good job of staying locked in and staying ready. I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet. Had zero separation
Yeah,
and
all
I'm
that
hurried, I'm a
bullshit. We
decoy,
don't need
all that,
to.
all that, and which is crazy because none of those things are true. I got zoned the entire game. I didn't get not one single man rep. So obviously there won't be any separation, and I'm not hurt and I wasn't a decoy. Just kind of how the game went. So I just know I'm excited for week 2.
Big week 2 ball game coming. There, I'm going 10 for 148 and two tugs.
Hey, prayers up, prayers up.
This when that in that game is Jalen ever coming to you saying I got you, just stay in it?
No, but that's something that I know. I think that's just something that you don't really have to speak of, but I think he's gonna try to do a really good job of managing the game and doing what the game allows, and when my number get called, I know he'll find me. So
When you do get man matchups, which we love, how about AJ Brown's top 5 corners?
Top five corners. I haven't played him. I played him this season. My number one corner in the league right now is Pat Surtain.
Yep.
I'm excited for that matchup. I have to go Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey still considered one of the best in this league. Who else? Number three. I have to throw my young guy in Quinion. Was on my
Oh
team.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's I truly feel like he's taking another step this season. I'm excited to see him play this season. And 4 or 5. Stingley in Houston.
Sting
Four.
is really
And
good young one. Yeah,
yeah. I don't really have a five. I don't really have a
that's
five
your
right
Mount
now.
Rushmore then.
I don't have a five. Yeah. So
How about top 5 receivers?
I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I would put myself third.
Yeah,
I would put CeeDee Lamb 4 and 5.
five's tricky because there's a lot.
I'm in Ross St. Brown. I go him.
What advice would you give to rookie AJ Brown looking back?
Stay patient. Stay patient. Try to find ways to continue to get better. Relax. Let it come to you. You don't have to press. What's yours is meant for you. It won't miss you. Um, Continue to stay grounded. And have fun. Most importantly, block out the noise. Learn to block out the noise. Learn to block out the noise because it's just noise at the end of the day.
Most of those people or all of those people talking, they don't mean shit when it comes to your day to day.
Exactly, exactly. And it's that's tough as an athlete. It's easier said than done, but like for me, it's like take accountability with everything you do. Take accountability with what you allow to get into your mental, what you process, So whatever you need to do, feed yourself positive thoughts. And for myself, I like to feed myself positive thoughts. I don't want anyone else to feed me positive thoughts. I don't want somebody else to tell me I'm great or tell me I'm trash this week, trash week one. I don't have one catch. Like, who cares? Like, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table, and just keep telling yourself those positive things, and just keep working and stay grounded and stay focused on yourself. So.
That's a phenomenal answer. To that point, what are some of the AJ Brown book club recommendations that we need to get on this fall?
Right now, I'm currently reading Let Them. I was reading Chaos. It's a book about
Chaos.
leadership.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
it's a book about leadership. I
I
really
know
like
it.
that book.
Yep.
Yeah. Those are the two books that I'm currently diving into right now. And meditations, it's about like being stoic. And then also the Bible. I kind of get conflicted when I read too much and I'm not reading as much as the Bible. So I try to find a healthy balance. So.
I love that. Okay. Healthy balance between regular uniforms or Kelly Greens. What do we like?
To be honest, I got mixed emotions. I'm not really a fan. We wear the same colors every single week. Oh my Lord. And I don't know who picks them, but I don't like them. I like let's mix it up. And then with the Kelly Green, I do like the Kelly Green, but I don't like the Kelly Green pants. I want white Kelly Green pants instead of
Yes.
gray.
That'll
Instead of gray.
pop.
Let's do let's go the white Kelly Green if we do the Kelly Green or something like. But I just don't like the gray pants.
I
So
totally agree. It washes
I
out
don't like
that beautiful Kelly Green. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. So
AJ, would you rather have 200 yards in a game or 3 tuds?
I'll take the 3 tubs because
Yeah.
yeah, because the 3 tubs add up.
Yeah, it does.
Those touchdowns,
You
it's
can't
just something
replace
about it.
those.
You can't replace that.
Initial reaction to the Micah trade. What do you think?
I was in disbelief, a little bit. I know he wanted to be in Dallas. He wanted to retire there. That's something that meant a lot to him. You can see it, you can tell. But he went to Green Bay, and I was like, ooh, they're loading up over there. They may be one or two pieces away, but they're off to a good start. Sky's the limit for their team. I'm sure we'll see them down the line. So.
What's the most important part for you, and how do you do it in terms of keeping your mindset strong throughout the course of a game?
So there's no more book. I'm not bringing any books on the side. I'm not giving free publicity anymore.
No more. I was gonna say you gave so much.
Yeah, so there's no more books unless I bring my own book on the sideline. But what I do is, I try to stay grounded. I try to ask myself two simple questions. Um, or before I even go out, I tell myself, make sure you focus on this drive and only this drive. Do not register nothing good or bad that happened in the past. Just focus on this drive right now and give your all. So once that drive is over, I ask myself, did you give your all? And I have to be completely honest with myself. And most of the time it's yes. And some of the times where I'm tired and I'm like, well, you could have missed you could have missed out on an opportunity that you were tired. So um what you need to do when you get back to work next week, you need to get some extra cardio in, you need to do something. That's just something I just put in the memory bank really quick. And then the next question I'll say, do not register what happened in this drive. So I erase it just like that,
Oh,
you know,
on the fly.
on the fly. Do not register because regardless if I had a touchdown, I had a couple catches, or I had a bad drop, or whatever. Do not register. It's over, just like that, and start over. And I just repeat the process, and before I know it, the game's over. And so I just tell myself, I don't play for the scoreboard. The scoreboard is for the fans. I play for the love of the game and me put my all into what I'm doing in the moment and being present. Being present. How focused can I be?
Wow, bro.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
inspire me,
it's a
man.
lot.
That's
It's
a
a lot.
lot.
It's so it's something. Honestly, it's something to think about. It's not like when I was a kid, I was going out here just playing ball, but no, like this, me really trying to maximize my abilities and on this field and put my best out there, put my best self out there, and solely like I keep asking myself, how focused can I be? I got a couple techniques I do to lock in mentally, see how focused I can be. So regardless of everything that's going on around me. People may think I'm the biggest jerk when I go out there because I do not see anyone. I'm only here for myself and myself only, and I'm only trying to be as focused as I need to be because you all are coming to watch the game. Like fans are coming to watch the game. I'm not saying I don't love our fans because I do, but you guys are coming to watch the game, and I'm coming here to try to play my best every single snap. So I have to learn to block out all distractions, all type of distractions. If fans or yelling or trash talking or whatever or adversity happens. I have to block it out. And so I be on my own head and I just be trying to play fast and keep going.
You mentioned twice block out the noise, right? So
Right.
to that point, when when did you realize? Because this is the thing that you mentioned fans too. This is the part that I feel the fans, all due respect, lose sight of. Is that the NFL is a business as
It's the
well.
job. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
job. You know,
Yeah.
they got their fantasy football. They come to the game. They're drinking their beers. Okay, good. Have a good time. But
Right.
you're performing. This is your livelihood for you and your family.
Hmm.
When did you realize that, okay, now this is a business? Like, how long did that take? When did it register for you?
When I got traded, when I got traded, I said, not that I didn't think I was untouchable, but when it happens to you and you have to change everything, you have to move, you have to get your family situated, you have to learn new playbook, earn respect of your new teammates again. And it's just like, wow, like they didn't want me. That's the question you start to ask yourself. It's like, why they didn't want me? And so you really just start to break down. It's like, man, this is truly a business, but this team want me, so I'm gonna give my all to this team, and I'm gonna do everything I can to help this team win. And so, man, just learning that it is a business, that this can happen at any moment, and nobody's off limit. So, so that's a learning curve for a lot of young guys that um take a while. And for me myself, like I learned and I expressed frustration in the wrong manner at times during those times. Like looking back on it, like I was on Twitter, social media, tweeting, like I wouldn't do that now. Right. But that's just me being older, just learning that it's just a business. And like I said, I'm here to do a job. At the end of the week, I get paid. That's just how it goes. Like everybody else with a regular day job. Like, you know.
What was your reaction to the trade when it first happened?
So I knew about it
Yeah.
early that morning before I went and worked out, and I was like, I was in disbelief. Honestly, I was like, they don't want me. That's what I kept asking myself. I'm like, they don't want to pay me.
Wow.
It's like, wow, this is really happening. And so it was bittersweet, but I was walking into something that I did not know what I was walking into, and so I am grateful that the trade went down, and shoot, I'm in two Super Bowl appearances, 1-1. I'm blessed. My family's taken care of. Like I'm just trying to play ball and have fun and ride off in the sunset.
you've done that. In fact, I actually did my top 5 trades of the past 25 years. I wrote yours as number 1, which was also the worst for Tennessee,
Yeah,
which
for sure, for
we've
sure.
we've subsequently seen what's happened. But hey, that's in the past. What you've done in
Hmm.
Philadelphia, AJ, the past several years, nothing short of sensational. You've handled yourself with class, dignity. As you mentioned, winning a chip, going to 2, perennial All-Pro, really become a true franchise cornerstone. And it's an absolute honor and pleasure to converse with you. And I really appreciate you taking the time, man. It means a lot.
Sure. Thank you for this time and space, man, to express myself and answer these questions, man. It means a lot to me.
Now, before we get out of here, I can't leave you without some potentially bad bets I might take this week. Now, if you tuned into our Saturday show, you already know that we didn't hit on anything. And that spicy parlay, we didn't hit a single leg of it. So let's try it again. This week, we got Browns. Actually, I want to give you one more note. I did not see these bets before. My team put these together. So I'm reacting and then I'm picking one or the other. So we got Browns plus 12.5 over the Ravens, or the Giants plus 6 over the Cowboys. Give me the, oh, that's tough. Give me the Giants. I like getting a lot of points in a divisional matchup. I don't think Baltimore is going to be messing around against Cleveland. They had a devastating loss, big bounce back statement. So I'll take the G-men. Patriots plus 1 over Miami, or Chiefs plus 1 over Eagles. I actually like both those bets, but I'm going to go KC at home over Philly. That should be a great game, maybe the game of the week, which is primetime as well. Commanders money line plus 150 over Packers, or Falcons plus 185 money line over Minnesota. I'm going to go, wow, that's tough. Give me the Packers. Give me the Packers. Sorry, the Commanders at Lambeau Thursday night, getting heavy juice. Big Jaden Daniels game. And that's it for this week's show. Thank you, as always, to my man Keshawn Johnson. A big thank you to AJ Brown. He was sensational. And thank you to you for tuning in. Make sure to catch Why is Draymond Green Talking About Football with me, Jordan Schultz. We had a monster guest last week, Devontae Adams. This week, Deion Henley, superstar linebacker for the Chargers. Make sure to check out the weekend show. And, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you soon.